Now that's the future air conditioner. You ever seen one of those?
No. What is it?
So this is the Daikin Fit.
Okay.
So this right here is the real deal of air conditioning, and this will be the future across the country.
Wow.
So this is your regular air conditioner. So I want you to think, look at this unit. That's a 3.5 ton unit.
That's 3.5.
So if you look at that unit, and if you look at that unit right there, that right there that would be the same size as a 3.5 ton. Okay, so this unit right here probably weighs about 300 pounds. That unit over there weighs about 125 pounds. That unit's more efficient and cools better than this unit. So think about what you're doing, how much resources you're putting into that unit. If you break it all down, just in materials alone, what you have there.
How are they able to fit this into such a compact?
They got a special compressor. Daikin's the
Inverter.
only one with the compressor.
Okay.
This is called a swing compressor. So they can go from 25% capacity to 115% capacity. Here it is a mild day, 80 degrees, and you only need 50% capacity. This goes to 50% in your home. Lowers the fan motor down to 50% in your home. But if it's 95 degrees out and you really needed 115% capacity, this goes into a boost mode and ramps it right up. Super efficient. You can start that unit up right there, 3.5 ton. It pulls about 3.5, 4 ounce.
You should have this condenser unit and this air handler unit, because if you put something different, a part of the air handler or a part of the condenser, they won't work. This is an inverter unit that the compressor will know when it have to turn on or when it have to turn off.
We oversize everything in America. We all think bigger is better on everything. But we're used to having, put me a 5 ton in. I need a 5 ton because the 5 ton is the biggest house unit they make for single family homes. But in reality,
But in AC, that bigger is not better because it doesn't make it more efficient.
That's right.
Here in Miami, it will be a nightmare.
Wow. If you put a 5-ton unit when it's 1,000 square feet.
Then you're going to be rain and you're going to have an umbrella in it
Yeah.
because we got so much humidity. When you put an air conditioner too big in a small space with high humidity, you don't remove any humidity. It actually makes humidity into the house. So if you have a 3.5 ton in your house right now and you put a 5 ton in Miami, in 6 to 8 months you'll start growing mold in your ducts and you're going to be very uncomfortable because in hot times you're not removing the humidity in the house. So you might put it at 65 degrees, but you still sweat in your house.
Let me ask you a very basic question. What does a condenser or compressor do versus what does an air handler do?
Okay, so the air handler, people really think this cools your house. It doesn't cool your house. It removes the heat from your house. So this,
Sends it back to
so
here?
if you feel this right back here, feel this. You feel the hot air?
Yeah.
So that is actually taking the hot air underneath here, running it through here, and the gas is actually removing the heat. It brings it back to this coil and distracts the heat out of the house.
Thereby cooling it.
That's right. It really does. People think, the air conditioner cools it. No, that's why it's called conditioned. It actually conditions the air. But it's hard to explain that to, because you feel cold air coming out. So the first thing you say, it's blowing cold air. No, you're actually...
It's the same air that it's
the same air.
it's
You're
recycled.
removing. You're removing.
That's the reason you have to change the filters. That's the reason that you have
So that's why the filter is always here.
Yeah, here's our filter here. Our filter goes inside of the
And,
room, so it's hard to... But there's where the filter is.
Yeah, on the way in. Okay, so it's always...
And then the air comes out the top. So if you use a good filter here, you got clean air in your house. But if you use a bad filter here, then all the stuff, once it gets into the ducts, that's why duct cleaning became so popular.
So when it passes through here, this is taking the heat out.
That's right.
And so when it blows
out,
air,
you
it's
got
going to be cool.
It's got cool air, but this is really not cooling. It's really removing the heat. So the more heat it removes, the colder that air feels coming out. And that's why you got the condensate that drips outside, because you're removing the humidity. Now, if you had a 1,000 square foot house and I put a 5 ton unit, you'll go out to your drain pipe outside and you'll see a drop of water every once in a while. You put a 3 ton in there, you go outside, it looks like a water faucet is on because it's removing all the humidity out of the air.